everyone, welcome to my little corner of the world, my channel, The Mental Traveler. I'm Carolera, and today I shall be reviewing Gilmore Girls' sequel, A Year in the Life. It's my favorite TV show ever. I've already reviewed the first 7 seasons. Its sequel, produced by Netflix, consists of 4 parts of about an hour and a half long each one. Before I begin, this shall be a review with spoilers, so if you haven't seen winter, spring, summer or fall, beware. I've been a big fan of Gilmore Girls since October 2015 when I first watched it and felt totally in love with it. I've rewatched it 3 times since, and when I heard Netflix was bringing it back, I thought it was gonna be great because they do such great productions, and I couldn't wait for the chance to step back into Star Hollow. And I couldn't wait to see my favorite characters again, and I was freaking out over the trailers. I think we met pretty much almost all of the characters from the original Gilmore Girls, though we do get to see more of some than of others. We meet up with everyone some 9 or 10 years after we last saw them. Richard Gilmore has passed away, and we get to see how Emily copes with being a widow. Lorelai and Luke are still dating, and we see them move forward after apparently being stuck in the same place for almost a decade in their relationship. We get to see what Rory has been up to and what has happened to all of her ex-boyfriends, sort of. Dean is happily married and has a lot of children. Jess is still working with books. He looks really hot. I've always been team yes. And he still knows Rory quite well because just as he did back in the 6th season when he told her she ought to go back to Yale, he gives her once again this sense of purpose by suggesting that she writes a book based on her experiences with her mother. Kind of like what Joe March did for Little Women. As to Logan, he and Rory are seeing each other, but in a sort of casual basis. He's engaged to be married, and yet he hooks up with Rory whenever she's in London. And Rory has been dating this guy whose name she can't even remember, cheating on him with Logan, and then cheating on Logan with a guy dressed as a Wookiee. Michelle is married. Suki appears briefly. Paris and Doyle got kids and a divorce. Lane and Zach are still together, but we sadly don't get a storyline for them. I could go on, but I should better just start getting started with the review. As you can see, I'm not really happy with the revival. As I was saying, as with other Netflix productions, I thought it was really well done in the sense that everything looked beautiful. I loved Rory's outfits. Quality and care that went into making this show was evident, and I can appreciate that. Still, I hate this, but I'm not pleased with the sequel. Thus, I give it a 2.5 out of 5 stars review. I was really disappointed with it, particularly due to bad character development. For example, am I really supposed to believe that Luke and Lorelai, who have known each other for decades, who have dated for years, still have communication issues where they just happen to miss the chance of telling the other that they wanted to have a kid together? This touches in one of my main issues with the show. Amy Sherman-Palladino seemed to either want to ignore season 7 or pretend that no time had passed between the end of the original show and its revival. Because all of the storylines seem like they could have happened had there been a season 8. Nothing really seems to have happened in Stars Hollow since then, at least in the character development aspect, and we see this embodied with Luke and Lorelai. In the end, I'm just happy that they're finally married, and then there is Jess. As I said, I'm team Jess forever, and a part of me still wants him to hook up with Rory in the end. Since I highly dislike the sequel Rory, I think that maybe Jess would be better off finding someone else. I think that he was just too good for her in this revival, or at least they should have made an emphasis that he was going to try to find someone else, or that he had tried. Instead, I just got this feeling that he's in love with this idolized version of Rory who isn't really who she has become. And I hate seeing Jess pining away because of this, sort of losing his potential to love others. And then I think that it would hurt me also to see him end up with Rory one day. He is a character that deserves more. And then there is Logan. It was so sad to see that the independence that he had gained from his father has now apparently disappeared. I mean, he's marrying a woman because she is very suitable for his family. Come on. What about the character development that he went through the last seasons? And maybe here I am projecting myself into what to have done, but I hate to think that Logan wanted to marry her and now he is content to have her being his mistress. Because sure, better have her as his mistress than not have her at all. And maybe he's doing this because he respects her feelings about this, but I'm not really sure that even Rory likes that situation, and it was sort of a sad thing that Logan wouldn't stand up for what what he wants and tell Rory, I want you as my wife or as something more than what we have. In the last episode, they do give us this moment where they could have sort of tell each other that they want to be together in a more formal relationship, and yet they let it pass by like Luke and Lorelai did in previous occasions. And then those 4 words at the end, ugh. I don't mind Rory being a mother, but to think that maybe it was to sort of echo the position Lorelai was in when she was pregnant is so wrong. It feels wrong. Lorelai was like 16, whereas Rory is a very experienced woman in her 30s who doesn't, I think, want to live in Stars Hollow for the rest of her life, but she's settling. I don't know where she went wrong career-wise. I don't know, I hated it. Rory was meant for greatness. When I first saw the promo of her working with Michelle Obama, I loved it. I knew that that was her place. In the sequel, she was just so lost and clueless. She has all this potential, and where did that ended up? As a journalist, I find that even though this appears to be realistic, it's horrible, because if Rory Gilmore can make it out there in the world, how could mortals do it? Rory doesn't seem to have learned that much in 10 years, or to have grown as a person. She is still willing to destroy a marriage the way she did with Dean and now with Logan, because neither Logan or she seems to mind that Logan is engaged to another girl. She ignores her mother's refusal to write their story, saying that she's homeless and poor when I'm sure her grandfather left her some money and she could do something with that. I mean, even having her forget her boyfriend's name, all the sequel was awful. I mean, this is the girl who didn't want to kiss Jess in front of other people because that would hurt Dean, and now she treats her boyfriend horrible. I mean, I would have even liked to have seen her working at Chilton, but she doesn't want to teach. Doesn't really want anything, or that's the impression I came up with. I think that Emily Gilmore had the best character development out there, even though I thought it was a little mean to change her so much in regard of the mates and of being her DRA friends. I think that's how they were called. Sure, it's great that now she can appreciate those who work for her, and her old friends weren't really the nicest of people, but for 7 whole seasons I really liked her character. But other than that, I really liked the journey she went through, even though I think that she and Jess ought to have been at the wedding of Luke and Lorelai at the end. Oh, and one more thing, I hope Rory tells Logan about the baby, because why wouldn't she give him the opportunity of knowing that he's gonna be a father? But anyways, at this moment, this is all I have to say about Gilmore Girls-A Year in the Life. Let me know what you thought of the review, if you agree or disagree in anything I said. I would love to talk to you all about Gilmore Girls, because I need a sequel for the sequel. I need closure. So far, they have not announced that there will be a season 2 of the revival, but I guess that if they're just gonna keep on messing with characters that I love, I'd rather they just leave it with those 4 words. Still, if they do more, I shall watch them and review them. Despite everything, I am a Stars Hollow addict, and I love the 7 seasons of the original show. It's my favorite TV series out there. In the description box below, you can find a link to its IMDb page. Thank you very much for watching my video. I'm Caro Herrera, the Mental Traveler. Take care, and I shall be seeing you soon.